Hey guys, still here and welcome back to Stormworks. This is episode 4. This is calm content, or at least it is meant to be. And that means that there will be no ad interruptions. There's not going to be anything bothering you, asking you to buy anything. It's just going to be you, the video, and hopefully not too much beeping from the locator beacons. To make sure that there is not going to be too much beeping, I'm going to install a slightly different system onto the Quinn 1, and that is going to be a locator system. Now, last week I already installed a locator system, and that was, I think, on the Quinn 1H. The Quinn 1H had this little speaker thing, and it works, but it constantly beeps. Great system. The problem is the noise. So, this time around it's going to be a new display, and that display is going to be powered by a system that tells me how far that particular beacon will be away. Don't exactly ask me how that thing works. I found it on the Steam Workshop and it just works like a charm. What was it again? Yeah, here. ELT beacon distance. Calculate distance based on beacon pulse. The thing is, I do need a clock for that. I don't have that researched yet. So I can make the preparations, but probably for this mission, until I have it complete, I cannot yet install that particular system. Fortunately, what we're going after is nothing that cannot be fairly easily solved. I can output the distance to here. The thing is that it's a crashed plane, and we don't exactly know where it is. That's the problem. We don't exactly know where it is. Let's remove this block. But I do not believe that it has a locator beacon on. So that means we'll just have to find it. Beacon distance. Or, yeah, distance or whatever. It doesn't quite work yet, but overall, once that new system is up, it should be ready. One thing I'm curious about is whether I can launch my Holland class. I don't think so. Nope, too big. The Holland class is something that I hope to show off in a later video. It is a catamaran, or actually a trimaran if you want to be exact about it. Trimaran design, very, very stable boat, and in rough seas it works like a charm. I also have, what you can see here, the Quinn 1I. I have continued working on the Quinn, well, not much more than the Quinn 1H, as you can see it right here. The Quinn 1I has a couple of floats on the side, and it makes it just that much more comfortable when it's rough seas. Because what the Quinn can do, the Quinn 1H, is flip. The Quinn will flip its shit, so to say. It will flip over. Especially in rough seas, when you're going at high speed, you can find that this boat has a bit of a mind of its own, shall we say. Now there's one more thing that I want to change, and that's this light up here. The reason for that light to go is that it really interferes with my night vision goggles. Alright, we have... Ooh, that's a large search area. A crashed plane has been sighted. Crashed planes, not great, because they tend to fill up with water. When they do that, they tend to start sinking. So, I have to find this thing in a hurry. Towards the middle of the circle is 3.3 clicks. And my night vision is probably going to be doing overtime trying to find this plane. Another problem with a plane is that you can generally see a ship because it sticks out above the water. A plane, not necessarily. Unless it just crashed right outside of my dock. Are you kidding? No, you're not kidding. Here's the plane. What the hell, Stormworks? Are you throwing me another bone? Is that it? Because this feels really simple. Rescue 4 casualties northwest of the Coast Guard outpost island to a hospital. Now, if this plane is watertight, then that might mean that these guys don't have a fear of drowning, or at least not as bad. Just crashed into the plane right there. This is going to make a nice thumbnail. Let's put that on photo mode. Here. Hey, it wasn't me. I swear, it wasn't me. This is how I found it. Now, in the previous episode, I also installed some electric motors, and those will allow me to start maneuvering a bit easier. without having to use a reverse gearbox, and preferably parking the boat relatively close to survivors without too much trouble. So, you folks, you get to come along with me. You are mostly healthy-ish. At least you should be able to follow me. And I want you to climb aboard the Quinn 1. I want you to sit over there. You can sit over here. And you two didn't listen. Come now. Follow. They can climb the ladder themselves, but only if you tell them to follow you. Alright, you get to sit over there. You get to come with, and you get to sit over here. Let's bring these guys back up to full health. I've had it happen too many times that they just faint. And when they do, they just flip over. If you're not paying attention when they flip over, then you'll find that they're suddenly gone. They're just not there. Suddenly, you are missing a few passengers. And it's not like the game is going to inform you about it. It just doesn't. It just goes, hey, a casualty is believed to have died. And you go, where? When? What? Did I do that? No. You didn't do it. But you kind of failed to notice that somebody was flipping over and falling overboard because they might have had a heart attack. So that is a bit of a problem. Nevertheless, with these guys in their seats and with an open boat, you do have the risk of them just flipping over. Anyway, I still need a clock. What do I need to get a clock? Basic logic, no. Mechanics, no. Electrics, not likely. Navigation. Clock. Yes. Oh, it's 4 research points for that. Still, it's probably quality of life. Because with a locator beacon, or rather in reverse, a beacon locator, I'll have a much easier time figuring out where I need to go and how I need to pick these people up. So it's probably in my best interest to just bring the research points and spend them on that project. So navigation, research, yes. We are going a bit too fast. Like a lot too fast. Because I think we're already here. Or at least we are really close. Yeah, we just passed the dock. I thought I saw a glimpse of it. There it is. Now, if I time this right, I can park parallel. Oh, just about. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Even next to the ladder. Not too far back, otherwise it's going to be a bit of a jump overboard. Bit farther forward. The waves are pushing us into the dock. That's good. Although we're not quite there yet. Reverse a bit more. That electric motor is so handy. That might have been a bit much. Please tell me I can still get clear from this. Yeah, and a bit to the right. Battery should be fine, especially now that the engines keep on. They're still burning a little bit of fuel, but it's barely noticeable. About the fuel, by the way. The game continues to burn or to buy fuel. That means that you don't have to gas up the boat, but you have to make sure that you have sufficient budget. If you don't, then your boat will either spawn with a half-empty fuel tank or no fuel at all. So what I have noticed is don't spend all your money. Early on, that is pretty doable, spending all your money. Later on, it gets harder. Because I find that at some point you just have a boat that can do it all. The Quinn can almost do all the jobs. And after that, it just becomes a vanity project. Alright. Survivors rescued. We got another 6 rescue, or another 4 points from that, and a bit of cash. So now up to 26,000. The next island that I would like to buy... Ow. Is, I think, only 15,000. And it would allow me to buy bigger ships. The thing is that it might not be required. Nor do I know particularly where it is. This one is interesting. The North Harbor. Because if I'm not mistaken, it has a dock and it also has a train yard right over there. So you can buy both boats and trains. And trains could be used to explore the island over there. Provided, of course, that I actually have the research. I do not have the research for land vehicles yet. Nor am I likely to get it anytime soon. So right now it is time to head back to base. So throttle up, turn on the clutch, and just point the boat towards the light of the dock right up ahead. Really quick mission, really short trip. Nothing too stellar. So let's go back to base and wait for another mission. Alright, welcome back to the next mission. We've been called upon to rescue 5 people from the ocean. It's a very straightforward mission. I don't understand why they're not spawning a vehicle around it or why it's so easy. But here we are. And, well, I guess we're just going to rescue some people. I have by now researched clocks. And I don't really need it to be on the boat itself, or at least on the cockpit side. But I do need its input, what time it is, to figure out what the beacon distance is going to be. Not that I'll really need that this time around, because currently I already know exactly where they are. I didn't even have to go and look for what the location is. Quite a comfortable mission indeed, but not really challenging. And again, they're only 1,400 meters out. I don't know what the AI is doing mission-wise. I hope we're going to get some more interesting missions. The most interesting part about the mission this time around? The wind. There's quite a bit of it. The Quinn 1 can definitely handle it, but if this picks up, I'm going to have to take a little care not to keep skipping off the waves and flip another, well, Quinn, because I have a tendency to do that. So this is a quick interlude mission. Let's not do that with a night vision. It looks like... oh, there they are. There's the boat. Let's see what these guys have built. Looks like a yacht of some sort. It's quite a nice design, really. What I don't quite get yet about Stormworks and their tooltips is that it says rescue 5 casualties in the ocean. Yeah, but there's 2, maybe even 3 people standing on that boat. So I don't exactly know what they mean with rescue them from the water. Or from the ocean, because they don't seem to be very much on the ocean. Anyway, I'm going to do this mission and I'll be back with you guys when I find something a bit more interesting. On my way to the hospital now with the 5 survivors from that yacht. Decided to turn it back on, the recording, because it is such a smooth sea. I was actually thinking, wow, this is going to be a bit boring, but it's actually really tranquil. Just having this perfectly flat water. The Quinn 1 skimming over it, almost at the hospital, doing a good comfortable 80 kilometers an hour. And I think this is one of the first times I actually docked in the light at this hospital, at least during this particular playthrough. This is what I find so incredibly relaxing about Stormworks. You can just play it, you can have something else going on in the background. I personally watch Womble quite a few times, Soviet Womble from the bullshittery videos, and just watching what he's up to on Twitch. And it is just so nice and comfortable. You don't need to do much. Generally, you're just searching, you're engineering your vehicle, you're figuring out what you need to do and what particular design the AI has come up with, and how you're going to get your people out. And I guess until I get some more, let's say, finicky equipment, it's going to be a bit much, or, well, a bit much more, potentially a lot more, of the same, where there's just not that much going on. I'm picking up people, and it kind of feels like I'm a glorified taxi service. And that is something that I struggled with, by the way. How long was it ago? Was it? Oh, sorry. A while ago, I think almost a year ago, maybe at this point, I volunteered for the animals ambulance. And the animals ambulance is a volunteer job where you drive an ambulance and you rescue animals. Pretty much that. But what I found was that it wasn't really that much rescue, if you will. We were just sitting around waiting for something to happen, and not a lot would happen. So overall, it was just waiting, sitting around, shooting the breeze with my, well, my very nice coworker. He had a history of, I think, 30-ish years with the police. So he had all sorts of great stories. And that really helped us speed up the time. But when we did go out to a call, it was just glorified taxi service. Load up the, let's say, the pigeon that got hit by a car or whatever, and bring them to a shelter. That was all that we were doing. It was just a glorified taxi job. And maybe I'm thinking too deeply about the whole rescue thing, and it's probably not as serious as it is. I mean, when I look at videos from the RNLI, the rescue boat service from the, what is it, UK, they have some really, really pretty videos, and they make these guys look so badass when they're rescuing people and patrolling the ocean, doing searches and stuff like that. Well, maybe not so much patrol, I mean not the Coast Guard, but looking for people who need rescue when they've been sent out to a call. I imagine that you might get this rush the first couple of times, or maybe every time that you go out, but at some point, it might just become boring. If you're out on a boat for hours and hours and hours on end, oh good lord, then I imagine it's going to become a bit boring. Anyway, we have another plane crash. I'm not sure what's happening with the planes today, but they are falling out of the skies faster than I had to rescue pigeons at the pets ambulance. This is going to be a good way to test the locator beacon. I do need that thing backlit though. So the light switch is also going to have to go to the digital display here. Otherwise I cannot see what's on that display, or at least not very well. Now, how that thing works exactly, let's go back into the workshop, or the workbench. This is it, the beacon distancer. I have just found it on Steam Workshop. It works very, very well. How it works, I don't know. This is beyond me. It takes the beacon pulse, it sets a memory register and then another one, and then it does a really funky formula. ABS x minus y times 10,762 minus 0.2154. It sends that to a numerical switch box, and when the numerical switch box is turned on, using the on-off signal that for the locator, then it tells you what the distance is to the beacon. It doesn't tell you exactly where it is. It can't, because you're only using one sensor. It's not like I'm triangulating a signal. The only way that I could triangulate a signal as the indicator, or as the creator of the, what do you call it? As the creator of the microcontroller put it, the only way that you can do it is to just sort of, oh crap, that thing needs to be turned on as well. The only way you can do it is to just sort of sail in a pattern and try and figure out what goes where. But at the same time, you don't really know exactly where it is. You'll always have to do a bit of guessing. Or, and this is more advanced and currently outside the scope of what the Quinn can do, you could try and draw on a map. And that would then allow you to figure out where the particular circles intersect. And that can be used. Now currently, really? The locator beacon seems to think that we're only 0.78 kilometers away. And we are in fact heading away from it. So that would mean that that plane crashed somewhere over here. Because it doesn't have that many more places where it can go, but I think it's a bit cheap if it would be here. Because that means that once again it crashed almost on top of the outpost. Yeah, it's 500 meters out. What is it with planes going down here? It's almost day. That's a good thing. 400 meters out. Can I see it? No, waves aren't too kind. That's the moon, by the way, I think. That's the hospital, right? Or a dock? It's not bobbing up and down on the surface, so it's not the plane. The plane is still 380 meters out. There. Plane? A plane has... That's the yacht. That's the yacht that I went to earlier. Oh crap, you're not picking up the yacht, are you? Because if the yacht has an emergency locator beacon, then I could be picking up the wrong signal. 0.58. 0.48. Where is it? There. The game hasn't yet despawned the yacht. 0.43. It's a good thing it's going to be daylight, because that'll make the search a lot easier. RPS is looking steady and we're doing 60 kilometers an hour. Yeah, that's the yacht. But it's not the beacon. Because we're getting closer, but the beacon says it's now 0.6 away. So, we're here. What if it is close to the hospital? Let's slow down a little bit. What if a plane did go down close to the hospital? I mean, we've already seen a life raft spawn on top of their helipad. I don't put it past them to actually have a plane crash next to the hospital. 0.38. 0.33. Are we moving away from it again? I mean, it's 400 meters out. I should be able to see it, right? I don't believe it crashed on top of the island. 0.58. We're heading away from it again. Is it on the other side of my little outpost? That might be it. I gotta be careful not to run the Quinn too fast, because she does have a tendency to jump out of the water. And when she does, she can flip. That'd be a waste. Anybody see a plane around here? That's a rock. Spotted that thing a few times already. 0.28. Northwest? What, here? That is. Hold on. Somebody in the water here. Several somebodies, in fact. Hold up. If the plane already went down, like down, and sank, then that might explain why there's no plane to be found. I don't know where the locator beacon exactly will point to, but it might be down. It might just be pointing almost vertically. Let's not dive too much. I don't have the equipment for it. Get up. That's 1. 2. Crap, the other 2 decided to take a break. Alright, electromotor's on. Is this the plane? Yes. That is not a rock. That is an upside down aircraft. But didn't I rescue people just from this one not too long ago? Huh. Alright, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure that the game does not consider this as an object where you can spawn more stuff. This has a bit of risk involved. Yeah, no, see, look. I'm not crazy. There's another plane behind it. What the hell? Can you guys see that? There's the second plane. It's the exact same plane. This one is a bit more damaged though. And it went down at the exact same site. Welcome to the Bermuda Triangle. This is where planes go to die. Can I use the photo mode to change the brightness? Oh, I might be able to up the contrast though, so you can see it better. Nah, not quite. Alright, anyway, we have found the plane. Now to get the survivors out. Seriously, it feels like this career mode that I'm running is way easier than the one that I have on my other save. The one I'm not showing you. Because it feels like there are just planes crashing on top of each other. People are spawning on top of a life raft or a helicopter pad. It feels so weird. Alright, you. You and you. Can I just scoop you out of the water, or is that too far away? Oh, you got a bit of a current going on there. No, it's too far away. You, follow me. And you, follow me. Good lord, those waves. Pushing me all the way out of my own boat. Up. Sit your ass down. Sit. Sit. Good. Throttle to full. And once again to the hospital we go. Once again at daylight, but the weather has, well, the weather hasn't deteriorated that much. There's just a bit more wind. So the waves are a bit rougher than what you have seen a couple of moments ago. Still, why the game spawns 2 missions on top of each other, that I don't get. Now these are moments when the Quinn 1 is a bit jumpy. It skips over the water like a stone. And that carries risk, because the first part that usually tips back into the water is the stern. And when the stern does that, the props give it a large jolt, which causes the bow to immediately go vertical. And then it's anybody's guess how the ship's going to go down, or come down back onto the waves, like that. And when you then ram your bow back into the water, the ship has a tendency to just flip over. Alright, we're almost there. Now, if you guys have any particular requests for this playthrough, let me know. I'm not very good at designing helicopters or any such device, so please don't ask me to build too many of those, because it's it's just not going to be pretty. Boats, I'm reasonable at. I'm definitely no Steam Workshop worthy designer, because the way that people have designed the boats on there is just really impressive. I'm thinking that some of the boats that you see on here, they are probably already on the workshop. And I mean, not the boats that I'm currently operating with, but I'm talking about the boats that are spawned in. Oh, shit. This guy was following me. Hello? The boats that are being spawned in as ships that do need services. That do need either to put out a fire or just need you to pick up their survivors and bring them back. Like the boat that I was just on, that yacht. That looked pretty nice. That was well done. Alright, you, over here. I've got to time it right with the swell. There we go. Up we are. You. Yep, everybody seems to be following me. Come here, my little ducklings. We're going to go to the hospital. Arguably, you can just go, hey, hospital is that way, idiots. Start moving. But no. We got to hand deliver them. And it looks like it's going to be a party at the hospital. It's it's quite the welcoming reception here. I hope that we're going to see some of these guys despawn, because it's getting a bit out of hand. Any loot chests? Nope. Nope. Here? Nope. Now previously, the guys used to stay here forever, but thank God they don't do that anymore. After a while, they just despawn. Maybe it's when you're far enough away. And with all the missions being so local, I haven't had to go very far away. Whoops. So it's not like they're going to despawn, because I'm still too close. Alright, let's get moving. Put the throttle back on. Put the clutch back on. And it is back to base. So what have we done this week? We gained about 20,000 credits and a bunch of research points. Now, what's the next research project? I'm thinking large boats. And then spend some more on shipping. With these... oh, I also want doors, actually. Doors and large boats is too much. Let's go with large boats first. With the big engine, you can get seriously powerful craft. And if you have more big engines, the large engines... Currently I'm running without the modular engines, in case you're wondering. That's going to be coming maybe in a future either series or video, potentially. The large engines, they guzzle fuel like crazy, but they also have an immense amount of power. So it's a trade-off. And since I'm pretty rich, 44,800, I can probably afford to buy a new island next episode. I might do a mission or two off-screen to get the large boats research complete. Buy a new island and start designing a new boat next time around. Anyway, that'll be all for this one. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a like, and if you really want to support this calm content, then please consider donating through the Patreon link down below in the description. You'd really be helping myself out directly. Thank you for watching. Hope you had fun. Catch you guys next week.